to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today we're going to go ahead and create this haunted Brindleton Bay home. So today this one is a little bit different. It is sort of like a Halloween themed one, and it's kind of got a really interesting style to it actually. So I don't normally kind of, you know, do backstories for my builds and stuff, but you could maybe kind of help me come up with one in the comment section, because you'll kind of see later in this build how the interior is very kind of, I guess like eclectic, is that the right word? Like just like a mix of styles and stuff, and it doesn't really match, and it's all kind of all over the place in the interior. And then on the exterior, there was kind of like a pool in the backyard and kind of like some porches and stuff as well around the home. But now all of those are empty. So I was thinking that maybe this is, well, I mean, it's abandoned home, sort of, and, you know, people have kind of come over the years and kind of stolen stuff that was left on the porches and stuff like that, and all of the outdoor seating next to the pools and stuff like that. So the exterior is pretty much blank in terms of sort of outdoor furnishing, but, you know, I still have like landscaping and stuff like that, but also I totally forgot to mention, but this is up on the gallery. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1, and there's normally a link in the description as well. Now I've actually been really good over the last couple of months, since I started putting download links in the download links for the gallery in the description, and it was actually mentioned, I think it was in the Craftsman Mansion build or something, and I said how I've been so good at remembering the last couple of weeks, and then it was that build that I actually forgot it for the first time in like, you know, a month or something. So I'm hoping that doesn't happen again. I did go back and add it in, but, you know, it doesn't really matter if I forget it, because my origin ID is Real Thomas TV1 if you just want to go ahead and search it on the gallery yourself. And yeah, so this home originally, I was going to do this haunted theme like it is now, but I kind of started doing it and I wasn't really too sure how I was going to incorporate that theme into it. So I started, like, I think a little bit later on than this point, I thought, you know what, let's just change it into a normal family home. Then I was like, you know what, I don't really have that many Halloween videos going on this year, so I thought, you know what, we might as well just go with my original theme. It did take a little bit longer to kind of get it in terms of like thinking of what I wanted to do. The actual house didn't really take that long, maybe about an hour and a half or so, maybe a little bit less actually, to be honest. That's why this video is a little bit on the shorter side, but I'm really happy how it turned out in the end. You can also see as well that that little kind of guest house in the kind of front right of the home, that's actually a garage, and I did actually go ahead and put a vampire's coffin thing in there, and I thought it was pretty interesting because it's got like nothing else in there. It's just kind of really creepy looking in there with that coffin. So maybe it's like a vampire family that lives here or something, and they tried to make it look like they're not living here or something. I don't know, let me know what you think about the backstory of this home could be in the comment section down below. So right now we're just working on the landscaping and stuff, and I did keep it pretty kind of like dead. It doesn't really look that great, but I kind of wanted it to look like it's been sitting here for years and years and years without anybody doing anything to it, so that's why it looks like that. So the landscaping isn't the best in today's build, but it is on purpose. And yeah, so we're just going around doing that. I did put a big kind of like fountain in the front yard here with a very dirty coloured water, which I also did for the swimming pool in the back. And you can also see as well that there's two little kind of like gravestone things in the front yard thing, kind of just next to the porch. You can probably see what I'm on about, but it looks a little bit like weird. I don't know, that could be something to do with the backstory as well. It was just a random object that I found in the I can't even remember, I think it was it in the debug menu? I can't really remember actually. I'm pretty sure they're from vampires though, and I thought it looked kind of interesting, added a little bit more character to this build, so I went ahead and put that in. And there's also a car on this lot too, which I was kind of looking back at it, I was like, it doesn't really fit in with the theme because it's kind of like a modern sort of looking car, but I don't know. So let me know about what you think of that, and if that has anything to do with the story. So you can also see as well that we've got two little greenhouses. Again, I didn't go ahead and decorate those, I just kind of left them, you know, blank. You could easily kind of fix this up if you want to, and maybe put some plants in there if you need to, but there's also a gazebo as well, which again I also left blank, for the same reason at the start, to think that people have just came in and over the years took stuff from the exterior of the home, like furniture and stuff. And yeah, so this year in terms of Halloween videos, I haven't really done that many. I do have a few more plans, but I don't think I'm going to go ahead with them because there's been a lot of people who's done a lot of, you know, Halloween videos this year. I mean, like every year, but they're kind of like similar themes, and I don't want to really like repeat them, and everybody seems to do the same thing, so I don't really know. I do have another idea, but I don't really want to do it at the same time, so I'm kind of like being putting it off. I don't know, I'm gonna have to think about it a little bit more, but you know, there's plenty of other Halloween videos if that's something you want to see, but if you do want to see some more Halloween videos, then let me know, and I'll see what I can do. And I also have, like, a whole bunch of videos still on my desktop from, like, back in the beginning of September, because I don't know if anybody remembers, but I put this tweet out a little while ago saying how I built 7 builds in 2 days. Well, those builds are still sitting on my desktop, like the recording folders and stuff, just because I literally have just been so busy with the mansion builds and stuff and other things that keep coming up, and that kind of, well, I've done a whole bunch of collabs recently as well, so they've been put on the back burner. And it's just been sitting on my desktop for ages. I've got, like, hang on, let me just check how many I've got. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Well, some of them aren't part of that. But yeah, so I've got a whole bunch of stuff that I've still got to upload. I haven't done the voiceovers for them though, because if I did the voiceovers in the beginning of September, and they're not going to go up until like late October to November, it's going to sound a little bit odd what I'm talking about. Might not make much sense. So I haven't done the voiceovers yet, but everything's kind of edited and everything's ready to go. Just going to do the voiceovers whenever I've got a chance to upload them. So as you can see, we're now on the interior of this home, and we're just working on the kitchen. As you can see, it does look very bad, but that's on purpose. I wanted to make things look like it hasn't really been taken care of in a few years, or very kind of spooky vampire look into it. So you can see how in the wallpapers, I couldn't think what they're called there for a second. The wallpapers in some of the rooms, like, you know, the I think this room has it, yeah, this room, and also the kitchen and a few other rooms have like the wallpaper which has like damp on it and stuff, and it kind of a little bit got wear to it. So I did that as well. You can also see as well, for like this particular wallpaper here, we're kind of using some like old-fashioned looks to them as well, because I really wanted that to be incorporated into this build. So you can see that it's very, very different from one of my normal builds, which is great. It kind of switches it up a little bit. You don't normally see me furnish in this sort of style, so I suppose that's kind of good. And yeah, so we're just going around doing this little bar room here. I wasn't really too sure what to do with it, to be honest, but it kind of looked nice, sort of like a formal dining room, and it kind of more turns out into a little private area too. And then this room right here is the living room, and you can see what I've done is that I put the fireplace in the middle of the room. Now I do this sometimes, actually I've done it a few times, and it's kind of like just a good filler of space. If it's a big room, it kind of breaks up the space a little bit. So I had like this seating area here with a fireplace, and there's also the other side of this room with another seating area too. I just thought it kind of filled up the space a little bit nicer, and it looks a little bit different too, so I thought it'd be good to include. So we're just going around doing that here as well. And yeah, so let me know about what you think of this build. Like I said, it's a little bit different from normal, and you know, I don't really have that many opportunities to do more, you know, sort of Halloween related videos, because I mean Halloween's nearly here, but you know, just let me know if you have any more ideas, and I'll try and make a note of them. I can always come back to them next year as well. There's no rush to get them all out, I suppose. And yeah, so in terms of what packs I've been using, I'm not actually too sure. I wanted to mention that because I do get a lot of questions about packs, and can you do some restricted pack builds and sorry, I just dropped something. Can you do like restricted pack builds and stuff like that? And I know that I don't really do restricted builds in terms of packs and stuff. I'm in a very fortunate position where I do have all of the packs. And you know, in The Sims 3, I didn't have any packs whatsoever, so it's kind of like, you know, I've never really had packs in games before, so I'm just kind of like do what I want at this point. But you know, at the same time saying that, I was in that position like I was in The Sims 3 where I couldn't really use many things. So I think it'd be a nice idea to do some more restricted pack builds for The Sims 4. I'm not really too sure when, but I do have a base game build idea coming up. I'm not really too sure when, but because I've got lots of things going on, and then we've got Get Famous coming out, I've got loads of, you know, stuff to cover for that too. But you know, I do have a base game build idea, and I also as well, I don't know if anybody remembers, but I did a little while ago do some 3-pack builds where I kind of just picked 3 random pack, well not random, I kind of put them together that kind of had similar themes. I made a build out of that in base game, so if you want to kind of have a look at those, then there is a speed build up. With a few of those, if you just search like 3-pack builds, you'll probably find it, and those are also up in the gallery as well. But if you have any more kind of restricted pack build ideas, that'll also be really, really helpful to hear, and you know, I'll try and do some of those when I can. And yeah, so right now we're just working on one of the bedrooms. Now the thing with these bedrooms is that they are very, very plain looking, and you'll kind of notice that the finishing is very kind of sparse, and there isn't really that much character, well I suppose there's character to them, but it's just very not very well decorated, if that makes sense. I can't really think of how to word it, but the bedrooms are just very, very simple. because I kind of wanted to, it just added to the theme, I thought, and doing very personalised cluttered rooms just did not fit the rest of the style of the home. So the bedrooms are a little bit boring, I guess you could say, if that's the right word. I'm not really too sure, but it kind of fits in with the theme of the house to have this particular style. And yeah, so the bedrooms, I did get a good number of bedrooms in, which is a little bit odd for me, because I always end up getting a very small number of bedrooms in these smaller homes, because I do mansion builds all the time. So when it comes to doing smaller homes, I make everything way too big, so it always ends up being a smaller amount of bedrooms. But I did manage to kind of fix it for this, to get a good number of bedrooms in here. And you can also see those little windows right there on the left of that bed are really low down, and that's just how I had the roof in, and I had to work like that. I did try to move it up, but it didn't look right from the exterior, so I thought the exterior is kind of where all the main, what you're going to look at the most, I think. So I decided to make it look better from the exterior than the interior, which is oh god, I can't speak, a sacrifice that some builders have to make sometimes. And yeah, so I really hope you enjoyed today's build. In the comment section down below, let me know about what you thought of it. If you want to go ahead and download this from the gallery, it is up there now. My origin ID is real Thomas TV1. Make sure to leave a like, share and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!